Yo, what's good? It's your host, Allen Robinson, Pro Bowl wide receiver, and I'm joined by my co-host, Super Bowl champion Prince Amukamara. What's good, man?
Man, oh man, oh man, bruh. The NFL is making money on these games, man. Making money meaning the TV ratings. Let me clarify, because these games have been great.
First, listen, that which is a whole some would say too good.
Yeah,
Hey, but that's a conversation. That's a conversation for another day. That's a conversation for another day.
facts, facts.
But I'm gonna start with, man, the college football national championship. Was you surprised by the outcome?
Ooh, yes, this is what I said going in. I said if Indiana wins, it's going to be a massacre. It's going to be a blowout. But if the game is tight, I have Miami winning. And it was just one of those where I always say, like, disciplined football beats talented football.
I
And
agree. I
in
agree.
Indiana was so disciplined, and Miami let them off the hook so many times on third downs, whether it's with penalties or just guys missing assignments, not making plays. But let's not take away from Fernando Mendoza's the back shoulder passes. I don't know if that's on the list to talk about, but those things are hard to
Yeah,
cover.
we definitely can talk about it. He's, I would say, penciled in as the number one overall draft pick right now.
Yep.
I believe the Las Vegas Raiders have the number one pick, and obviously they're a quarterback needy team, and it's looking like that's the direction that they're going to go in when it comes to the quarterback position. How do you feel his skill set translates to the NFL? And I say that because, and this is maybe just me, but he has a quirky athleticism to him. Doesn't move the greatest, but obviously has capable and is a willing athlete, which I think helps him out a lot. I think he makes good reads. My only thing would be this, and I always question this sometimes. When you have a quarterback, obviously he's been in college for a little bit, but it was never those games that were 200 plus yard games, and they weren't really in situations where you have to throw the ball. And like we just said, in most NFL games, they're coming down to the last drive. You have one, sometimes two. We've even seen more than that, 2 minute drives, and quarterbacks having to throw the ball. Like, imagine the Chicago Bears game this past weekend, and how Caleb Williams had to go about towards the end of that game. The ball was constantly in his hands. He was having to make plays with his feet, with his arm. Do you think that's something that Mendoza can do at the next level?
Come on, yes, he did that against yours truly, your alumni, your alumni school, Penn State. That dig or whatever that in the back of the end zone, the end line, like he penciled it in.
Penn State is not Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. Those aren't the guys that
True,
the Miles Garrett's of the world.
true, true.
Those
No,
aren't the
that's true.
guys that are out there that were being gone up against, that these plays were being made on.
Right, 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 right. And he
So
also doesn't
and
have
I think
offense.
and I say that because the Miami pass rush was one of the best in college football, and there was times he didn't look as confident as what's the word I'm looking for, as poised in the pocket and as comfortable as he did in prior games. And again, you're talking about a Miami team that has probably two guys that will go top in the draft when it comes to their position and stuff like that. So, I mean, when you factor those things in, it does make me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah, but then you have to do it on both sides. He doesn't have. I mean, I don't even know the top O lineman, but he's gonna have some solid O linemen and stuff like that. And I think he figured it out in the end. Like I said, those back shoulders, those
He
key plays that was made, it helped out a lot.
he's also older, meaning that there's a little less time to develop when you think about it. I say that all the time. You have a person like Carson Beck, who is who he went up against. Carson Beck was in the same draft class as CJ Stroud and Bryce Young.
Right.
Just to give you some perspective on when guys and what age they are coming into the league versus some guys who are still playing in college. And just kind of the time of development that won't be there or lack thereof with some older guys.
Why wouldn't it be there? Penix, let's use Penix for an example. He's 22. Come on, Fernando's 22.
When does he turn 23?
October.
Okay, so he'll be 23 years old as a rookie.
As
And
a
I say
rookie.
that, well, I say that because when you think about the same way with Michael Penix Jr., based on some of the things that has taken place in his rookie year, it's like, okay, how much do we push and how long? He's not a Sam Darnold who's
Yes.
relatively young that can have a rough start and bounce back. And even when you look at a person like that, he was on the younger side and he didn't have as long of a leash as some guys may have. And I say that because when it comes to the decision making and how you're factored into the NFL, we know this, Prince. Youth is king.
Yeah, it is. It is. He's gonna
Youth
be
is
good though.
king.
He's gonna be good. He's going number one. He's gonna be good. The reason why he's going number one, the other thing that helps him is what is it when supply is low,
I
demand.
agree. Most definitely.
That's just
And the
capitalism.
quarterback
That's
position will always be of high demand.
high
And
demand.
if you
Yes.
are the best of a weaker class, that only helps you out. It doesn't
Do
hurt you.
do we know who's coming out? The only one I know, to be honest, is Ty Simpson, and I don't know nobody. I don't know anybody else besides Ty and
Nussmeier from
come on,
LSU.
man.
Dante Moore's going back to college.
Come
So
on
I mean,
now.
it's a yeah.
Chambliss, I think, might have to
But
be
I'll
on.
also say weak quarterback drafts haven't really bode well in the NFL.
It
I'm not
has.
gonna say no names, but for y'all go out there, y'all can go watch and
Yeah.
tell us what names come to mind and who that may be. But moving on past college football again, um, listen, I didn't think I didn't think the Indiana Hoosiers would be able to do this, but they did. Shout
Yeah.
out to them and congratulations. But round two,
Hold on. Some people are saying best team in history, best coach in history to ever.
man, we were gonna move past it, but I'm so glad you brought this up. This is my opinion. I can't vote or make two teams go against each other on a team that has a lot of older guys that aren't going to be pros.
Gosh, man.
Because my thing is, how do you factor that in? Like, how can you factor in a team like this
So you
that
told
has
me,
Joe Burrow,
so you're telling
Jamar
me Ray
Chase,
Lewis, you're telling me Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, they weren't 24, 25 playing?
in college?
Yeah.
No.
No, I know.
What you talking
I'm
about?
with you. I'm with you.
But
They
my
was
whole
getting
thing
all
is
pros.
when you're talking about a team like LSU, how do you factor in somebody who's a fifth year, and this is no disrespect to them,
Yeah.
a fifth year senior that has a solid but impactful college career that goes on to be undrafted, doesn't play in the NFL, whatever the case may be? How do I factor that in with a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase,
Jefferson.
Stingley?
Yeah,
How do I factor that in with these guys?
you're right.
You know, I mean, it's very hard. And I say that with just a team like that LSU team, where it's like, I can't even name that many players on this past national championship team. And that's nothing against them. The landscape of college football is now changing the same way that in college basketball, you had your Calipari teams that would have 6 and 7 freshmen, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, whoever else, but they would lose to Creighton in the play in March Madness because they have an older, more sound team.
Right.
But the Kentucky team has the talent and is the better team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I mean, is that where you were going with it, or
Yeah, no,
do you feel that they're the best ever?
I mean, I wouldn't know. I mean, if you give me a 2001 Miami Hurricanes team, there's no way
we don't even got to go that far.
I know. I know. It's funny
we don't
because you
even got to
keep
go
going
that
to
far.
LSU.
You can give me you can give me last year Ohio State team. And I say that because they had Jeremiah Smith.
Right.
They had Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah.
They still had Carnell Tate. They had Quinyon Judkins, Trayvon Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all dudes who are pros now, except for Jeremiah Smith, that are doing very, very well at the next level. And it's like, how does a team compare like that? Nothing, not taken away from them.
Indiana only has one day one guy. So
I mean, they may have that. Listen, as time progresses, we'll see what the scouting combine and stuff like that
Right.
shows. But I'll say this: the caliber of talent that the team from Ohio State that I just named, those players, they didn't have those.
Gotcha.
But that doesn't take away from who they were as a team, because it's a
Right.
team game, which is why they won a national championship.
Gotcha.
So I know IU fans will probably troll me. And congratulations, y'all won a national championship. Every squirrel finds a nut. But we're going to move on. Round 2 of the NFL playoffs. Did anything surprise you?
Gosh.
And we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. But did anything surprise you?
The thing is, though, I really have to go back because there were so many great games. Like we got blessed with Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So let me rewind back. I'll say, let's start with Bills Broncos. I had Bills winning the game. Obviously, the biggest talk of the game, well, during the game, the biggest talk was, the headline from the game is Josh Allen's 4 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a catch or was it not a catch by Cooks? And then obviously Bo Nix being out for the remainder of the season. But I had Josh Allen and the Bills winning that game, and they had it. I mean, we've talked about this before. Your chances of winning the game goes up the more turnovers you get, and it goes down the more times you give the ball away. And so that was the headline of
what was your favorite game of the week? Sorry to cut you
off. The one that had me on my seat was Bears Rams.
Bears Rams.
Yeah.
And again, and we're gonna break these down game by game a little bit later in the show. That probably was my favorite as well. It just was, man, to really see the back and forth between two, which is I'm gonna kind of segue into the next topic, but to see 2 play callers and Ben Johnson and Sean McVay, accompanied by Chris Shula, who's a potential head coach candidate. Also,
very
Dennis Allen, who was a former head coach. So to see the chess match of that was my favorite game as well. Also, to move into the coaching carousel, we had another surprise. Coach McDermott, he was fired.
Surprised who? I said it on this show.
You know, you did. I was surprised though. Yeah. I was surprised. And yours truly, Big Blue, they solidified their coach. And John Harbaugh, how do you feel like that as a Giants alum?
It makes sense. Giants they've been looking for consistency, and I would say Coach Harbaugh gives them that, coming from a Ravens organization. I mean, I don't want to say the pay doesn't matter, because you've seen owners fire coaches at a drop of a dime, but
definitely
5 years was predicted, 5 years or rumored 5 years, $100 million deal. I mean, it sounds like he's going to see that whole deal. But I think it was a great pick. It's one of those, hey, we got to restore the order. We have to get back to Giants football, the history, running the ball, discipline, just all of that. And I think Coach Harbaugh gives him that.
Could I rain on your parade a little bit?
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know if he gives them that. I don't know. I don't know what John Harbaugh gives them, to be honest.
What do you mean? Go look at his record. I mean, this man won. I mean, divisional wins after divisional wins. I
mean, shout out to Lamar Jackson. Perfect time to cue him into this. I would also challenge people to go look at his resume prior to Lamar Jackson. In the end of the Flacco era, kind of switching to, switching to the Lamar Jackson era. And I say that because as I watch these games, and again, we just kind of briefly talked about round 2 of the playoffs before we kind of dove into that. But do you know what was something that was a very, very common theme that I saw throughout the course of this playoff?
No.
Head coaches being play callers.
Wow.
That was something that I really noticed this past playoffs. Whether Sean Payton calls his plays, Sean McVay,
Yeah. Matt
Ben
LaFleur,
Johnson, Matt LaFleur, Liam Cohen,
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan,
Wow.
and I believe Coach McDonald for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if he calls their defense or not. I know he might, and I also don't know if Sean McDermott calls their defense or not. But I say that because even if they don't, those guys are offensive and defensive guys who come from those kind of backgrounds. And I think that's kind of the day and age of where the NFL is going. And I say that because you want to have somebody rather than you just hire somebody that now, whether that's you going with their, I guess, philosophy and stuff like that. It's you don't have your own imprint on the game. And I say that because these past couple seasons with the Ravens, they've been trying to get the defense going, trying to get the offense going at different times. They've sputtered, but it's not like somebody like a Dan Campbell who can say, you know what, I'm going to take over play calling.
Right.
Offensively, we aren't where we need to be at right now. And I say that because I think that's where coaches are at, being able to grab the bulls by the horn and giving what they're very, very much so exceptional and great at doing, which is one side of the ball versus the other, rather than being a CEO-esque coach.
You're right. No, the more I'm looking at not even coaches in the playoffs, but just coaches like Stefanski, right? Did he calls
Play
plays?
caller.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Yep. Yep. And again, and I always say that because this is my opinion. I also feel like this is a little bit of what the Philadelphia Eagles are dealing with a little bit. I would like to see Nick Sirianni grab the bull by the horns and take over offensive play calling duty because that's the tree in which he comes from. He comes from being an OC. He comes from calling plays. His whole season, what got him to Philadelphia is his brilliant offensive mind and being able to call plays. Because I
Right.
say that because rather than continuously delegating the responsibility, the Dallas Cowboys coach, he calls the plays.
Wow.
Now, rather than delegating those resources or responsibility to someone else, now we're just sitting here and I'm the person on the outside looking in, trying to fit shapes into the holes that they go in, rather than me saying, okay, this what goes here, this what goes there, this is what's going to make this work. I know that I've seen it and I've done it. Not just I have to sit back and try to watch you work and hopefully you work and what you're doing is working. So we'll see. We'll see. I
Yeah,
know
we
that was a
will.
little long-winded segment
We
with
will.
John Harbaugh, but we'll see. But next up, what is football weather? What's football weather? Because I see that being talked about all the time. I actually saw a tweet from Reggie Wayne, and he said, just for the record, this ain't football weather.
Yeah.
And I believe he was talking about he's a Miami guy, but he was
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the Rams Chicago Bears game.
Right.
What's football weather, and do you like and enjoy to play in that weather?
Yeah, so I say there's two types of football weather. I would say there's one where it's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 85 degrees, grass is green, nice. That's football weather. Other football weather, snowy, night, like, yeah, like just
See,
run.
I believe it's one. It's one. The only football weather there is 48 to 50 to 52 degrees, sunny, slight bit overcast. The grass is green, but also turning, so it's a little yellow. It's not like the summer green.
Okay.
True fall kind of weather to me is when I think of that. You can kind of smell fall, and it's not the summer where summer you smell that you have the fresh cut grass smell. It's not quite that. It's a little bit different in fall. For me, that's football weather. Any precipitation, that's not football weather. It's
It
not football weather.
is.
I
For
tell you all the
December,
time.
it is.
I just now finally got cool with it raining by me not playing and have to be in it. Every time I will wake up as a receiver, if I see rain on the forecast, if I see an overcast sky and it's about to rain, my day is ruined. My day is ruined.
I love it. I love any precipitation.
My day is ruined, bro. And I've moved and I've gone about my life like that. Like every time, mind you, I'm not playing now. So if it's raining, it's like, I ain't doing much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got,
Right.
there's no reason for me to be out in the rain. But man, I might wake up in the morning during the season. We got practice today. We know we're going to be outside. You wake up, it's pouring. You like, man, are you kidding me? Now I gotta go out here and catch footballs in this, let alone let it be training camp or something.
Right.
Jacksonville, Florida, you gonna get a couple practices where you all full and no gloves. It's torrential downpour, and you like, man, I gotta really catch bullets in this. It's crazy. So I'm not a precipitation as football weather kind of guy.
I love it, man. Like I said, when it's cold, when it's snowing, it's just more distractions for the offense. The hits hurt a little bit harder. The ground is a little bit harder. I love it. Yeah, I think it works for the it works in a defensive favor.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that. Now, diving into it a little bit, and CJ, our producer, I know we kind of talked coaching changes a little bit early on, and we spoke to John Harbaugh with the Giants. We spoke to the Buffalo Bills. It came out today that Coach McDermott had a little bit of a disagreement, if you will, with management and upper management as far as where the team was at, as far as talent wise and competitively where they were at. And they said that they didn't like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. And just to say that because it's one of those things where I don't know, it goes to show you how much the GM and coach need to be on the same page for
Right.
things to run smooth and move smoothly.
Right.
And for me, I mean, like you called it. I was a little bit more shocked by Sean McDermott being fired. If you were the Buffalo Bills, what direction do you go in from here as far as what you look for in a coach?
I mean, Dayball.
Okay.
Right. I think you do have to cater to Josh Allen. You gotta consider his input, who he's comfortable with, because he's like that's your franchise guy. That's
You
your
heard
face.
what the Ravens owner said about the input with Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't hear what he said,
He said
but
input. He can have input, but he don't have no power.
yeah,
Yeah,
he said it like
that's
that.
verbatim. It's exactly what he said.
Man, and he also
And
said,
I say that because it goes to show you where the owners and stuff, when people just think like, well, this person wanted this person. I'm like, man, what does that even mean? And I say that even because as players, you don't even have enough time to do enough research on your own to be able to say, I want this person over this person.
right, 100%. But if it's someone that you're familiar with that you've had in the past, like Dayball, I feel like that's different.
Definitely. No, I get that. I get that. I'm just kind of saying as to why sometimes when
Yeah.
people say, okay, but like my best player didn't want this guy or didn't want this guy, that's kind of how those things come about. So, Dabo, so you would go with an offensive minded coach.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I mean, like, who's I mean, there's people out there, but it's just like if I heard, didn't the GM get an extension? Please fact
Yeah, he
check me on
did.
that. Yeah. So
He got
a
promoted.
promotion. My bad. He got a promotion, so he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. I don't know if he's gonna be there for a while, but he has a new job. So obviously they like what he's doing. But I mean, there's guys out there. I like Nagy still. Um,
Were you impressed? And sorry to switch gears a little bit, but go ahead, finish. You like Nagy?
I like Nagy still. Like I said, I like offensive guy. I like Nagy. I saw Mike McDaniel just went to the Los Angeles Chargers, so he's not available.
There was also something interesting that came out that said because of when they fired their coach and the timing of everything, they can't they're already past the interview process for those teams that are still in the playoffs.
Oh,
So they can't interview like a Kubiak from Seattle Seahawks. You know, like teams would have been able to interview him that first round of the playoffs or going into the first round. Like they
right.
wouldn't be able to, as far as when they fired their guy. So there are some kind of, and I say that because they must be pretty fine and kind of, they may go with a familiar face based on those factors.
Mm. I didn't even
So
think about that. Got you so
yeah,
many
yeah.
rules. And I also wonder with coaches like you. So we saw Robert Saleh was the finalist for Tennessee, which he got the job. You saw Nagy was, and I forgot the third guy. But I always wonder, do they call you and let you know you don't get the job, or you just find out like everybody else?
You probably hear that they're going in a different direction.
Oh,
I would
okay.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Makes
Probably
sense.
like we, you know what I'm saying? You know how NFL is. They're gonna
Yeah.
say, we really love and appreciate the coach and everything like that, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go a different direction. And so y'all could hold the whole appreciating all of that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like just you know what I'm saying? Just get straight to it.
right.
How would you feel about the Kevin Stefanski hire with Atlanta Falcons? And I say this because how do we feel when I say we, meaning us as a football community, about the recycling of coaches?
Yeah.
Because it's been such a quick turnover across the league. How do we feel about it just being recycled? This year alone, we had what was it, 9 or 10?
I think it was 10.
10 coaching vacancies. Mind you, the last time it was 10 was 20, what was it, 2020?
2022.
2022. Only 2 of those 10 are still coaching 4 years later.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's too quick of turnaround with this, or
Like, no, I've been saying this. I've been saying this almost every episode of our show. The owners have gone to a microwave success mentality. They want to win now. The Raiders have been on that for a while. I mean, they've been.
what about the bread they paying though?
Yeah, I think it's endless.
Aren't the owners these like dudes who are
Businessmen.
super
Yeah,
business?
I think what it is. I
Watch
think
every penny.
Yeah, I think what it is though is there's a they have insurance on that money from what I believe. I don't know how it works, but I'm guessing they
Talk
have
to us.
insurance.
No. Go ahead.
I
Talk
don't know
to us,
how it
bro.
works, but I'm guessing they have insurance on that money to where like an insurance pays that out if they fire or something. I forgot how it works, but they have insurance on
Because
that.
there was in the last 10 years. Now this article came out maybe a couple years ago. So maybe in the last 12 years at that point in time, the NFL owners had paid over $800 million
Oh,
to fired coaches.
wow.
To fired coaches and
Wow.
coaching staffs and so on and so forth. 800 over 800 million. And I say that because but we're seeing that across the board. In college, we're seeing guys getting $50+ million buyouts and then going to get another job. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing all those things. Do you think that owners should stay with the coaches more and allow them to let their players develop, build their systems, and have some time rather than to have such quick turnover? You look at the Dallas Cowboys. They had their defensive coordinator, one and done. Jets, defensive coordinator, one and done. So there's been other coaches in the league, one and done. Do you think that it's a developmental thing right now? And I say that because when we talk about quarterbacks, we talk about certain positions, we continue to say that the development may not be there.
From the coaches on the coaches side.
Yeah, on the coach's side.
Uh,
And I'm saying that because we know that development is not just overall development, but development in a system.
yeah. I mean, it's not all teams, right? The Steelers, what they've only had 3 coaches in their
3.
history. In
Yeah.
history, it's Chuck Noll. It was
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher and not Chris Tomlin, Mike Tomlin. Wow.
Yeah.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not everybody. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, the Patriots almost went through it for a little bit. I mean, it was Belichick.
The one and done, and they're back. They're back.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
So, yeah. So I think the owners are just trying to find it.
And again, and I'm gonna close out this segment with this, which is so very interesting to me because you have a team like the Tennessee Titans who would fire a Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
And then he gets a job and goes straight to the AFC Championship.
What is it? Another man's trash is another man's treasure, or something like that. Yeah.
One man's trash.
One man's
trash
is another man's treasure. Sorry, I don't know.
That's the
analogies or whatever. I know.
That's the
One
epitome
goat,
of that.
one goat is another.
But anyway, divisional round recap. I'm gonna start it here. Do you think the Bears should have kicked the extra point or gone for two?
You got to kick the extra point, man. Come
That's what
on.
I said. I saw. I think it was Rex Ryan,
Yeah.
and
Everyone always
shout out
does
to Rex
hindsight.
because his son was a assistant receiver coach in Detroit. Seth Ryan. Shout out to Seth. But I had to disagree with Rex there because the same situation happened with the Buffalo Bills earlier in the year, and everybody said should they had to just Josh Allen missed the throw, and everybody said should they had to just kick the extra point. You're at home, defense is playing well. I believe it was against the Philadelphia Eagles with that game, and same like the Bears, like Ben Johnson said, their goal to go plan didn't look like it was working accordingly. They got in the end zone. Their defense was playing great. They actually got the ball. They touched the ball twice
Right.
in overtime. So the plan worked and the opportunity for them to win the game was there. I mean, they were driving. They probably were about 20 to 30 yards from a comfortable field goal and winning that game prior to the interception. So I like the decision to go for it. Um, based on all the circumstances, and I say that because people like to say, Ben Johnson got out of whack and not, and it's like he kicked the extra point a couple weeks ago to end the regular season against Green Bay Packers in the same situation, and they went and won in overtime.
Right.
They got the onside kick, went down and scored, kicked the extra point, won in overtime. So I don't think he was being anything other than himself, which is thoughtful decision making, and they had opportunities to win the game. I don't think that was what won or lost them the game by any means.
Yeah, no, that's a smart decision. Some people try to bring in, like, the stats that show up on the screen, like, hey, the statistics show that you should do this. It brings your chance.
Analytics.
Analytics. Yeah, it's like, nah.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I think people just be saying that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who gonna really go check?
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I'm saying?
exactly. I mean, it goes
Like,
back.
like imagine being in a press conference and they ask you a question. Like, I mean, well, analytics, and it's
Yeah.
like analytics are systems of artificial intelligence
Right.
who are putting in formulas, creating situations that's giving you data, that's giving you percentages on what's the best situation. And I would imagine everybody's is a little different.
100%. But what analytics can't measure is like heart, can't measure fatigue, like it can't measure all that. So I mean,
Injury.
it's the same thing. It's the same exactly. It's the same thing when Pete Carroll. Why didn't you run the ball? Well, man, like we looked at our stats, how successful we were on first down runs, and it was just like it didn't work for us. But did you measure it with it being in the Super Bowl, with how determined Marshawn was? Like it's like to win the game, games on the line. Like it doesn't measure all that. That's the thing. And so, I mean, and that's why you have an interception on the 1 yard line. And now, looking back, we could have been in history back to back Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Rams are moving on to then go play the Seattle Seahawks, and we'll get to that game in a second. But next up, and we talked a little bit about the Broncos Bills. There were a couple controversial calls, and I'm curious to see for you as a DB, where did you see that? I'll let you speak to the DB one, and I'll speak to the receiver one. First is the DB one with the pass interference by Tre'Davious White. Do you think that's PI?
According to the rules, yes. But should it have been called? No. Like, I feel like, I mean, and again, I don't know how these refs are trained, and I don't know how they're taught to be graded. But I mean, when the game's on the line, and especially if you've been letting the guys play physical like that all game, you can't all of a sudden say, "All right,
Alter the physicality of the game. I
exactly."
agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. And the catch, ironically, I had the same exact situation against the Atlanta Falcons, and they called it an interception. I thought mine should have been a catch. I thought Brandon Cooks should have been a catch. And I say that because the ground caused him to lose leverage. When I say lose leverage, meaning he maintained it, which is why I think that sometimes it's gray, because how does the factors of what a catch is and how long you have to maintain the possession for, I think sometimes changes and is altered. I thought that was a catch, but
Yeah,
obviously with those two things happening, the Bills still had an opportunity to win the
they
ball.
did.
Excuse me, to win the game. They had the ball. They had opportunities. There was also a pass that Josh Allen probably would have loved to get back. That was late
Oh
in that ball game
yeah,
to the tight
yeah.
end across the middle.
Yeah, across the middle. Yeah.
And I've been seeing this go as well. What do you think about Josh Allen's performance, or lack thereof, if that's your opinion? And is he getting the criticism, like the just due criticism, or where do you stand with that?
I mean, if he's getting any criticism, I mean, even if he would have had a perfect game, like no picks, 4 touchdowns, and they lost, I mean, the criticism is still due. You're the quarterback, so I would expect him to still be critiqued and then also or criticized, and then also,
Turnover, bad turnover before the
yeah, I
end of the
know
half,
before the half,
which you
God, I,
can't do.
yeah,
You
you
have
can't
to. You
protect the
wanna
ball
you wanna end the half with the ball
with the ball.
by any means. God forbid you just let up a touchdown and it's 7 seconds to go or something like that, 11 seconds to go, and you fumble and give it back to them
with
again.
with 2 seconds left. Yeah, and they kicked the field goal. So yeah, I mean, but he went to the podium. I don't think it was a woe is me, or I don't think he wanted us to feel sorry for himself, feel sorry for him. I think it was just raw emotion, and he was crying. He was crying at the podium, and yeah, he owned it. He said he felt like he let the team down, and he owned it as you should. Like you want that out of your leader. You want that out of your quarterback. Now I hear a lot of people comparing. I hear a lot of people are not as loud as they are on Stroud as they are on Allen. Meaning, like more people are loud on Stroud versus Allen.
Well, I look at it for me. I look at it a little bit differently. Which, and I would agree with that, but I look at it a little bit differently. The way I look at it is, this is when everybody said Josh Allen would be at his best. They said he wouldn't have a diva receiver that's crying, wanting the ball all the time after they got rid of Diggs. They said he would just be able to go through his progressions, not have the stress of that, and be drained by somebody who constantly wants the ball. This is when they said he would be his best. When he goes out there and scrambles around and puts the cape on, and we chant his name and say he's MVP and stuff like that throughout the course of the regular season, this is when people say he's at his best. So you watch him all year, and I say this, and I've said this on here before. It's very, to me, James Harden esque style of play. And what do I mean by that? It's one person kind of being the focus of the offense and the team depending on that to win. And that's hard to do in the NFL. And we really haven't saw that be done yet. I mean, some would say Patrick Mahomes, but when you look at, to me, it's more of a, okay, like this is what Josh Allen does. No?
Yeah,
So when he continues to fail short, and it's like, well, now what is it this year? I mean, what's the answer? What's the reason? Is it Sean McDermott? Is it is he the answer? Is that the answer? But it's like the ball is in his hands in crunch time to run and pass and do whatever else he does. The receivers that y'all have are the receivers that y'all have. Obviously Brandon Cooks played very well for them. Um, but again, this is the system in which they said he would thrive best in.
and I don't want to say if, but if the refs, you know, get the right call, I mean, Josh is a hero.
But that's always though. And I say that because that's this year. What about last
Right,
year?
right, yeah,
What about the year before?
yeah.
How many times are you going to have where you're the best player in the playoffs left, especially on that side?
Right.
No Lamar Jackson. No Patrick Mahomes. No Joe Burrow. It's only going to be so many times and opportunities that you can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Drake May is only getting better. Bo Nix is in what? What year is this for him? 2?
Yeah. His second year.
You losing to second-year quarterbacks, and people are always going to talk about that.
Mm.
One loser, draw, team effort, whatever it may be. That's going to be the conversation. I'm very curious to see the direction that the Bills going from here. Denver Broncos, they're moving on to play against the New England Patriots. Bo Nix, their quarterback, broke his ankle. He'll be out for the remainder of the season. They'll be playing with a backup. What's his name? Stidham? John,
Garrett
you to pronounce
Stidham.
it?
Yeah, Garrett Stidham.
Which and he said, he said last year when they went with Bo Nix as a starter, he thought he was a starting quarterback. So what better time than to get your opportunity to show who you are and what
Yeah.
you're made of,
How
rather than
crazy?
the AFC Championship.
How crazy is this? He wins 2 games, plays 2 games, goes to another season Super Bowl win, Super Bowl MVP.
What?
I'm just saying, isn't that crazy?
We've seen it before.
We have seen it before, and
Philadelphia.
we saw his post. Did you see his
We saw
tweet?
the ramifications from it.
Did you,
Yeah.
yeah, he's what he said. He said,
Nick Foles said, luckily for the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots do not do well against backup quarterbacks in
in champ-
championship
Yep,
games. Shout out to Nick Foles.
yep.
Moving on. Seahawks versus the 49ers. That game went exactly how I thought it would go. You and your storylines ain't do nothing but get stepped on.
I could not. I could not.
The Seahawks are the best, most well-rounded team in the playoffs right now. And I've been saying this now for however many weeks. Offense, defense, special teams. When you look at the Rams game that they came back and won early in the year, it was Shaheed, long punt return. This week against the 49ers, Shaheed, kick return. Offense, Kenneth Walker. Run game was very explosive. Pass game did its thing. Pass rush, phenomenal. They are the best team on all 3 phases here in the playoffs. 49ers, very injury-riddled team. Have you looked into that electricity?
Yeah, dude, my wife was telling me about
Is that a
that.
thing?
I
Do,
don't know.
do you think that's a thing?
I don't know. I heard. Gosh, why I keep forgetting these
They were
names.
saying it drains your cells
Yeah, it does.
when you're there for too long. Well, they're very so. To give the
Delaney
audience a
Walker.
little bit of a background, there's a plant, if you will, or some type of electrical something that's going on with high electricity field that's very close to the San Francisco 49ers practice facility. And rumors has it that that area might be causing damage to some of the players' cells, which is why they're so injury riddled, because that particular electrical plant weakens the cells of the players and makes them more injury prone.
Yes, and Delaney Walker spoke it on my boys' podcast on his own podcast with Taylor Lewan and Will Compton, Buzzing with the Boys. So he talks about how they were practicing one time and it blew up, and they were at practice and everyone was shocked and stuff. And but he thinks that they signed waivers to where they can't sue or something. They must have
I could
signed.
believe that. I mean,
Yeah,
I could believe that. I could believe it. You think that would deter them from, or do you think it? I'll say this. I'll leave here. I don't want to give any more speculation. Do you think it's something worth looking into?
has it been that many injuries? I gotta see that.
Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Bosa, Fred Warner, and these are just all some of the higher tier players. Christian McCaffrey with a calf last year.
Brock Purdy in and out.
Yeah, I mean, but they've just been Trent Williams hamstring.
Oh yeah,
it's just injury after injury after injury at very inopportune times. Yeah. So I mean, I was gonna say I think where the 49ers go from here is just trying to get a full healthy team. Yeah. I mean, they have the coaching staff. They'll have to fill the void on defense. We're with Robert Saleh leaving, But as far as where they are, they have all the pieces. They just need to be healthy. This was
Right.
another year where you don't have Ayuk, you don't have Kittle when you need him, you don't have
Right.
Fred Warner when you need him, you don't have Bosa when you need him. Trent played, I believe, but he wasn't 100%. So they were pretty banged up. So for them, it's just a battle of attrition and them trying to get on the other side of it. Now, moving on to the last game from last week before we get into our picks for this upcoming championship week. Patriots versus Houston. That game, I mean, I don't want to say it was a little bit of a snoozer, but I feel like of the games, probably was the least entertaining. I think the most entertaining part was seeing if Houston was going to continue to ride it out with Stroud or not. I mean, there was some times where he just looked totally lost out there. Um, Record-setting day for interceptions in the first
Oh
half.
man, I honestly thought they were gonna bench him. I
Well,
thought,
there was a time where David Mills, I believe, is the backup where he
yeah,
played some games when CJ Stroud had that bad concussion, and he
yeah,
won for them. So I don't think
he
that was
did.
I don't think that was out of the question. But my question is, if you're the head coach and you're the GM, how are you sleeping tonight knowing what was the issue, and not just was what was the issue because you had Nico Collins out and he would have obviously helped, but just the way that it looked.
Yeah,
I how like what like do you just try to say, okay, let's try to get the run game better? Is it
yeah,
the coordinator? Because CJ Stroud, he came into the league and he looked very, very promising. And since they hired the new coordinator, and obviously, like I tell everybody, just because it's a new system doesn't make it a better one. People have to learn, people have to get comfortable, and sometimes that takes time. So where do you think they go from here? Because on defense, they've been lights out. What sucks
yeah,
about that is Danielle Hunter is a year older.
yeah.
Some of the other veterans over there are a little bit older, but
Man,
you
get to
still
it.
have
Dudes are gonna want to get paid.
that too. Will
That's how it
Anderson,
happens.
Will Anderson.
There's
But
some
I mean, you
DBs
still
in the
have some
back.
building blocks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You still have some building blocks though, but I think that's a tough situation to be in for Houston. And I don't think they're going to bring in any competition or anything. I think they're confident in CJ Stroud. I think they're going to give him one more bite
no,
at
hold on,
the.
hold on. Yeah, that's not even. Come on, bro. That's not even a question. CJ, CJ's about to get a 5 year whatever deal. He's gonna get paid. This doesn't
This
stop him.
doesn't affect any of that to you.
No, come on, man. It's a
Love
nothing
to hear
burger.
it. I
Yeah,
mean, listen, this league, you never know. And I say that because sometimes guys have question marks on guys that we don't know about until it's like, all right, wait, whoa, like that was brewing or that was happening. So,
right,
um, when you're sometime the I don't want to say the weakest link, but the weak or link in a particular game or particular games in the past, I think sometimes that is the overreaction or that is bringing brought to question as far as what direction or how do we fill that void or what do we go about and what do we do about that to get us over the hump.
right,
Flipping sides to the New England Patriots, they look decent. Obviously, young quarterback. Pressure got to him a little bit. The ball was on the ground some, which he won't be able to do in this game against his Denver Broncos that will be hunting the football, especially with them having the backup quarterback in. But the New England Patriots are riding high. They'll be going to Denver, which is not an easy trip by any
yeah.
means. Um, they're riding a little bit of a high, they're
Riding on a high to mile high.
yeah.
Sorry, that's corny, but it went with
Hey
it.
man, we gonna clip that. I think that'll be great for socials. But I think that's gonna be a good weekend coming up. So let's get straight into the picks of the week. We got Seattle versus the Rams. Who you rolling with?
LA.
Rams house in the building for Prince. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. They've been my Super Bowl pick since towards the end of this season. I just like I said before, going into this playoff journey, I think if Sam Darnold can just be Sam Darnold and not be seeing ghosts, Sam Darnold that the Jets had, I think the Seattle Seahawks have more than enough to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, I like that you said that. Now say the same thing about the Rams. So you can't say is Stafford going to be Stafford. So what can you say about the Rams? Why aren't they going to win?
I think that I don't think they have enough. When I say I don't think they have enough, meaning weaponry, yes, it's good. They have it. They have Puka Nakua, they have Devontae Adams, but I think the Seattle Seahawks has enough to neutralize that, meaning they can get pressure on Stafford. They're able to stop the run in pivotal situations, making and creating second and longs and third and longs and drop back pass opportunities for those defenders to make plays, sack fumbles, interceptions, whatever it may be. Moving on to the special teams, I think that their special teams is also better. The first time around, we saw them have a punt return touchdown. And also, the same time, the Rams, they have a very good defense. They play a really good scheme. But when you look at the weapons that Seattle have in Kenneth Walker, he's phenomenal in the run game. He gets it started early and often. In the pass game, they have one of the best skill positions in Jackson Smith and Jingba as well. So I think from a overall complete team, I think they are a complete team.
I agree with that.
I think they are. Now, the Rams, if the Rams can start off how they did the last game of the season, even though they didn't pull it out, get Seattle behind, make Sam Darnold have to drop back pass more than he want to, confuse him in quick game. Because last time, the Seattle Seahawks almost had to abandon quick game because of how Sam Darnold's read was. Whenever you're a coach and you're calling a quick game and you're taking sacks, you have to make extreme adjustments because you're calling those plays to keep you on schedule, not to have negative plays.
Right.
The percentage of a quick game pass is supposed to be high. So if the Rams can do that and make Sam Darnold drop back pass, get into second and long, third and long situations, and create some turnovers, which they've done in the past, I think they have a shot. But I'm still rocking with the Seattle Seahawks as far as who I think is going to be the NFC champions at the end of the week. Moving on, Denver Broncos versus New England Patriots. Two young quarterbacks. Who are you going with?
I mean, obviously it's an easy pick, right? But I feel like when it's
Is
easy,
it?
come on, dude. Come on.
Regardless,
When I'm saying easy, if you had to put your house on the line, which we know you got a nice one, but if you had to put your house on the line, who are you putting it on? Come on, Abraham, stop playing. Stop being. You trying to play? You trying to be so suspenseful? Just
I'm not, man. I really believe in the Denver Broncos defense. And I think in the playoffs, man, sometimes you got to lean towards the defense as far as I understand the situations, but we're also talking about a second-year quarterback. I know people have had him in the MVP race and things like that, but it's like if you don't think that a very, very good defense with good secondary defenders can neutralize a pass attack and create turnovers, then you have another thing coming. The same way that we have a little bit of a veteran quarterback or a more veteran quarterback with Sean Payton. We know he's going to lean on the run. We know he's going to move the pocket. He's been calling the game very well for Bo Nix. And I just don't think it's out of the question. Also, New England's coming way from Boston, Massachusetts to the Mile High City. These are all factors and things that I factor into play when you talk about a game like this. So I may have to I'm split right here, man. It's a toss up. If I was a betting man, I would bet at halftime.
and who's up at halftime?
I don't know. Depends on the Florida game. Depend on the Florida game. But do you have a favorite in this game? You're going with New England, I'm assuming.
I'm going with New England, but I'm saying though.
Say less. I'm going with Super Bowl this year will be a rematch between the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos. We saw that in 2014, I believe.
It could be Seattle
Seahawks and Denver
New England.
Broncos.
It could be Seattle.
Very much could. Very much could.
It could be LA and the Patriots.
It could.
Rematch.
It could. It could. We might see a rematch, but that's the one that I think is going to happen.
You think Broncos win? Wow. Okay.
I think they have a very, very, very good shot.
Gotcha. All right.
Any other picks you got for us, man? Can you got any parlays? You got any in these two games? Anytime touchdown bet, Stephon Diggs for anytime touchdown, Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua. Talk to us, P. Who you got? You the money maker over here in these sport books.
I like Cooper Kupp getting 2 touchdowns on his former team.
Not one, but two.
2 touchdowns, yes. And that is great, great money. That's plus money. I want to see what that money is, by the way. That's plus money.
Plus
Uh,
money.
Cooper Cup, yeah. So I like that one.
Say less. Cooper Cup. Anytime touchdowns, he said two of them things.
That's plus eighteen
Two of them
hundred.
things.
$100 get you 1,800. That's a great pick.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Say less. Say less. Well, we got some picks for y'all. Y'all heard mine. Y'all heard Prince's. Y'all even heard some more player props. Until next time, enjoy the games this week. This is championship football. If you are not tuned in this weekend, you are missing out, man. And the NFL playoffs have not disappointed. I'm your host, Allen Robinson, Pro Bowl wide receiver. My co-host, Super Bowl champion, Prince Amukamara. Until next time, ladies and gents, the press.